Hi, welcome back to the second hour of Focal Point, this Thursday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. I want to read some excerpts from a piece by Ted Cruz, and I want to talk about immigration. We'll see if I can get to it in this segment. 888-589-8840, number to call, 888-589-8840. And actually, Rob, maybe we'll shift to that clip one, the Mike Lee clip. Let's have that ready to go because that fits with this theme of Ted Cruz's piece. This is in connection with the State of the Union speech published on the Wall Street Journal. And Ted Cruz is just, as you're aware, has just been an absolute lion on all of this stuff. He got up in Eric Holder's grill yesterday about the IRS going after the Tea Party and after C4 groups. He's after the GOP elites today. I told you, top story on Drudge, unless that's changed. Let me go back there. Cruz, amnesty push ruins hopes of retaking Senate. So Ted Cruz is telling you exactly telling the truth here. This is like political euthanasia. This is like watching the Republican Party put a lethal drug dose in their veins and execute themselves. This is like a self-execution. Then they're strapping themselves to the table. They're filling the syringe with this lethal mixture, and they're administering it themselves. So you got the GOP laying on the table. John Boehner is like the head doctor. He's supervising this euthanasia procedure. You got Eric Cantor and Paul Ryan. They're there filling up the syringes. And Paul Ryan is taking the needle right now as you and I are talking, and he's inserting it into the veins of the patient. And that patient is going to gasp, and it's going to cough for air, it's going to twitch, and then it's going to die. You know, we had that caller last hour, great caller, talking about the fact that he's going to change his party affiliation because the Republican Party does not speak for him any longer. I'm looking at this piece. It's on Breitbart. Ted Cruz thinks that the House GOP leadership's renewed push this week to grant amnesty to illegal aliens would destroy the Republican Party's chances at retaking the Senate in 2014. He says this right now, Republican leadership in both chambers is aggressively urging members to stand down on virtually every front. Now, this goes back to the question I asked Dave Agema. What does this party stand for? Somebody tell me, somebody in the Republican Party tell me, what do you stand for? And this is what Cruz is talking about here. Republican leadership in both chambers is aggressively urging members to stand down on virtually every front. So you start thinking, okay, they're not going to take a stand against the homosexual agenda. They're not going to take a stand against radical Islam. They are not going to take a stand on immigration. I got it. The Republican Party is the party of fiscal conservatism. Wrong. Ted Cruz points out they are not. They're going to stand down on the continuing resolution. That's federal spending. They're not going to try to do anything to reduce federal spending. They're going to stand down on the budget. They're not going to make any effort to get some kind of a budget that's under control, that's reasonable, that balances at the end of the day. They're going to stand down on the farm bill. These are subsidies to rich people. These are subsidies to farmers that make as much as $1 million. These are subsidies to people that live in New York City. I don't know how they get farm subsidies, but they do. They are going to stand down on the debt ceiling. So once again, I'm kind of agitated about this, but I'm kind of amped up because, you would think, well, the one thing that the Republican Party would stand for would be some kind of fiscal sanity. And Ted Cruz says, no, they don't even stand for that anymore. They're nowhere on any of these issues that matter to us. And then he says that immigration is going to put is going to put a knife in the back. This would be the Republicans committing harikiri. You know what harikiri is? That's when I think it's a Japanese samurai sword guy just takes his sword and cuts his own self to ribbons. Rob, I lied. Let's go back to 18 and 19 if we can. Clips 18 and 19 on the immigration issue. And again, clip 18 here, I mean, this is just an illustration of what we have got to deal with, what we're dealing with the immigration issue. Here is an illegal alien. You know, the meme out there is, oh, no. They can't get on welfare. They don't get welfare benefits. They don't get welfare benefits until they become legalized citizens or become naturalized or get their green card, whatever the deal is. And we found, no, absolutely not true. Let's listen.
Milk, bread.
By the third week of the month, Maritza Nelson's $240 in food stamps has run out, leaving her $9 in cash and 7 people to feed.
Zero on the food stamp and $4 in child support. That's what I got.
Yet the 50-year-old single mother who entered the U.S. by swimming across the Rio Grande has government-funded housing, medication, and $700 a month in Social Security. She's been on assistance for 20 years and wants others to know that help is available.
When you really, really need it, go look for help before it's too late.
That message is heard in Florida,
For full Medicaid.
where expert navigators now help clients apply online for multiple federal aid programs at the same time.
And what's your marital status?
The goal of the recruiters who say they are privately funded is to increase federal aid to Florida by $1 billion a year.
So Florida's out on a campaign to sign illegal aliens up for welfare. They are recruiting people to sign up for welfare that have no legal right even to be in this country. They're paying people a premium. They've got people that are being hired and paid a bonus. Every time they sign somebody up for food stamps, they get a bonus. Because as far as Florida is concerned, this is just your tax dollars and mine flowing to Florida. They've looked at this as a scam. How can we get money from your state, Mississippi or Arkansas or Texas or Kansas or Utah or Oregon or Idaho or California? How can we get money out of their pockets and send it to the guys that run our convenience stores in Florida? And the authorities in Florida said, we got it. Let's just get illegal aliens on food stamps. Let's get illegal aliens on welfare benefits, and then we can siphon all of this money from the other 49 states and dump it into the Florida economy. So that's exactly what's going on. And here you just heard eyewitness, the illegal alien herself saying, look, I've been on these benefits for 20 years. And I'm encouraging all of my illegal alien friends to do exactly the same thing. So Senator Jeff Sessions out there sounding the alarm bells. You've got Jeff Sessions is sounding the alarm bells. Ted Cruz sounding the alarm bells on what this means. Ann Coulter saying the GOP is on suicide watch. You know, and Jeff Sessions says, hey, regardless of anything else, you know, if the president is concerned about income inequality, I'm going to come back and give you some excerpt from his column on this subject. If you're concerned about income inequality, which the president says he is, the Democrats say we got to do something about income inequality. What Senator Sessions points out, what gives the light of that, what makes it clear that that's just some kind of a political slogan or mantra, is that the worst thing you could do with regard to income inequality is declare amnesty. That will simply make the problem go from bad, in your judgment, to worse. So we'll talk about that when we come back. And we'll also hear the representative from the Department of Justice, the nominee, answering the question, is amnesty a civil right? We'll hear what he has to say. Back in 2.